And my father was a Gallego, of course, and my mother was Irish, both immigrants. I'm one of, well, my mother had 12 pregnancies, 10 survived, 9 boys, 1 girl. I'm a 7th son, so I learned early on about community and sharing, you know. I think the roles were reversed, and that's really what the film is about, how the father is led by the son and ultimately discovers himself. The father discovers who he really is because of the journey of the boy. And he really knows himself and his son for the first time. From my own personal journey, that's not too far away from the truth as well. You know, I think particularly when you become a parent, you know, particularly if you're very young like I was, you know, it's on-the-job training, you know, so you really, it's only after the fact where you begin to realize really the tremendous responsibility it is, and you don't always succeed in the ways that you had hoped or planned, and you see the result of that later. There's a line in the film where a father tells me, he says, "We are the very best and the very, our children are the very best and the very worst of us." You know? And I think that sums it up, you know. We only want to look at the best. We don't always want to embrace our failures, but until we do, we never grow, you know. So you have to take the rap for the things that you did and shouldn't have done, and the things that you should have done and didn't. And that's, I think that's just normal for every parent, you know. In this case, I had an opportunity to make up for a lot of things along the way with Emilio, not only as an actor and a director, but as a loving son, you know. And I adore him. I mean, he's one of the great people in my life. Along with his mother, I think I would, you know, have these two people are the reason I'm still going in a lot of ways. And so I'm deeply indebted to him. But he understood me as an actor as well. He wrote this thing for me, and he,
at your urging,
at
hey,
my
write this for me.
Right, this, but he dropped everything else and took up this this cross, really, you know. And we had no financing, we had nobody but ourselves to get involved to help make it happen, and he did it. He just took off, and he found the partners in Galicia.
I think to really follow your inspirations, to follow what inspires, moves, and touches you, and there was great freedom in how we made the film. We had a very small crew. There was about 50 of us. We shot it in Super 16 millimeter. We were running and gunning the whole way. We had 40 days to shoot it, which is about the time a normal pilgrim would take to walk from Saint-Jean to Santiago. And there was a great many gifts every day, and I learned to be open to them. I learned that we're not really in control, no matter how much we like to think we are. And there were so many miracles that happened along the way that I stopped using the word coincidence. I took it out of my vocabulary. It was truly divine. And there were inexplicable events that would happen, and so you just had to surrender to that.
But spirituality is the unification. That's the real root and purpose, I think, of religion, is the spirituality, because that's how we meet each other, is in that need to explore that transcendence in our humanity. And while we can never separate our flesh from our spirit while we're still in the flesh world, our effort should always be to unite the will of the spirit to the work of the flesh. And that, I think, is what brings into our common embrace is our brokenness, our humanity, the need we all have to be healed and to heal. That we cannot do it alone. We're not required to do it alone. That it is only when we cooperate with each other and we break all the barriers of nationality, culture, race, and religion that we reach the center of our humanity, our common humanity, and that is spirituality. I don't think we can live in either world without that balance, that unification of the will of the Spirit to the work of the flesh. I think we're all broken. We are all in various stages of recovery. We're all trying to heal the scars, the brokenness of our pasts, and we all have a different view of the future, or the afterlife, so to speak. But I think that we come to an understanding that we don't go to heaven. We become heaven. And that, I think, is really what our journey is all about. And that's I think that's the quintessence of the pilgrimage, that's that uniforming thing. You have to do it physically. It's very difficult. Most things that are difficult are worthwhile, If they're not, you have to question their value. They have to cost you something. Every journey has to cost you something. Otherwise, you're left to wonder or, question its value. And so the pilgrimage is the one event that all of this comes together. The emotional, the physical, the spiritual, the religious, the human aspect. It all goes to your feet and comes back up to your heart.